Okay, so we're here to talk about 5G and its many applications, but before we do that, there's an old joke told by Ronald Reagan during the Cold War about the former Soviet Union I found kind of relevant to this whole story. A man goes to the car dealership and he says, "Hey man, I want to buy a car." The whole joke being that everything is slow because it's communist country. Reagan told him the joke. Guy behind the counter in the dealership says, "Fine."
Okay, come back in 10 years and get your car.
Men think about it and say,
Morning or afternoon?
and the guy says, "Well, if it's gonna be 10 years, who cares if it's morning or afternoon?" And the man replied,
The plumber's coming in the morning.
that's kind of how I think about 5G too. Light reading has been covering 5G, but when I finally pick up a 5G phone, which is right here, and I realize I have 5G everywhere I go, it's fast, it's good, but that's about it. I'm still not watching a movie on it. Like, the phone is not realizing its full potential yet, so I decided to speak to my fellow editors at Light Reading who's been covering 5G for so long to talk about what should we look forward to in 5G, and most importantly, what am I supposed to do with 5G now?
What do you think about 5G, Chip Clip? Oh, I think 5G is going to be great.
I realize I'm just using 5G to do phone calls, but nothing really tell you what you can do with it other than downloading movies.
A common refrain among 5G analysts is that the most important app for 5G is the speed test app. So you get your 5G phone, you run a speed test and see how fast the connection is, and that's like basically all you do with 5G is just run the speed test and continue with your day.
What would make you get a 5G phone?
The truthful answer is, once I crack my damn screen, I'll probably get a 5G phone.
If you break your phone right now, would you go for the 5G phone just to get a little extra future proof?
I would not. I love money more than anything. I love it. And I count it.
Put them in a drawer under your
Put it in a
mattress.
drawer. Oh, I just love it. And so I don't see a reason to have a 5G phone.
I'm not in any hurry to, start paying off another phone. It's painful how expensive they are.
Okay, fine. Nobody is switching to a 5G phone in 2021. Well, what about the future? What about that killer app that has not been developed, but will change the world as we know it?
The application answer is, I think sometimes those kind of AR, VR schematic type things, I think being able to do something like that in a home environment would be kind of cool.
They have all these pie in the sky use cases that we talked about, like the autonomous vehicles and AR and VR. I want to see those. I want to see the AR in the stadium. In Korea, they did one with a dragon going through a stadium, and that looked really cool. Yeah, next Super Bowl, they need to step it up and.
AirPods Max.
Yeah.
There's an AR thing where you can see the actual size, and with 5G there's no lag. And immediately I thought about you mentioning in one of the live reading podcasts saying that one day you'll be able to fix your car, and when you go to your garage and there's great connection there, you don't have to worry about your home Wi-Fi, and you're able to see it right in front of you. So far it's only applied to the $550 headset.
So far it's just Apple trying to sell you more Apple stuff, which is
exactly
fair enough.
Right.
I wonder where the photography industry is going to go. Can we get a chipset that runs inside of a full frame camera and does some interesting cloud backup? They discontinued it, but Samsung made a camera, an actual DSLR, that had an Android operating system built into it. Photography now, which is a pretty disconnected device-centric experience, and photography in the future, which could be a more connected experience, but I'm not exactly sure what that means.
If everybody has a new 5G device, does that mean home Wi-Fi, you'll have to change somewhat, right?
I don't think it'll necessarily go away. There's always going to be some devices in your house that will do better on Wi-Fi than on 5G. The companies that are providing the 5G are also the companies that are providing, in a lot of cases, the home broadband connection. So, are they going to undercut themselves? Probably not.
One of the applications for 5G is fixed wireless access. And that's where, instead of paying Comcast for your Comcast or, who have CenturyLink or whoever it is for your internet connection, You would instead buy it from your mobile provider, like T-Mobile will sell you your home internet connection. And the way that that would work is literally over 5G would beam into your modem inside your house, and then you'd connect your TV and all your stuff onto that.
.5G ultra wideband. Pow! This is a game changer. 5G just got real, man.
As Chris Rock said it, like 5G just got real. I'm like, okay.
Okay, Chris.
I was like, great.
Hey, what you need, mama? I'm trying to watch the game with my boys.
It works in the park.
He was like talking to
Anthony
his
Anderson. I love his mom.
Mama? It works at the aquarium, in the parking garage, at the beach.
I'm like, oh man, this is like everyone's relationship with their mom.
Yeah, exactly. Now you don't have excuse to hang up on your mom.
Yeah, so maybe that's the downside.
You're driving me crazy.
AT&T has the weirdest.
About AT&T's big 5G news.
Has a girl in an empty store
Yeah.
putting up a 5G sign, and the guy is saying like, "Oh, that's a big deal," and the girl's like, "Yeah, it is a big deal," but then there's no one in the store, and the guy's not allowed in the store. I don't know why she's working. If nobody's allowed in the store, why is she in uniform putting up a 5G sign with balloons? I don't understand.
I guess during the pandemic, she's unfortunately the only employee that has to go in.
And he's just walking by to basically mansplain to her how to run a retail establishment. Yeah.
You should consider making a big deal about it.
Bigger?
I said bigger.
So I have a lot of questions.
They don't employ writers for their commercials. 'Cause
That doesn't really help the whole idea of like improving communication, right? Because they're clearly not hearing each other.
Do you have a sense of like which companies, which one of those three, or others if you want to include, has kind of the upper hand on 5G coverage and connectivity?
Okay, so I would say for now it'd be first place T-Mobile, second place Verizon, third place AT&T. The reason I say that is because T-Mobile and Sprint, when they combined, they did do the mid-band 5G thing. So they don't have the highest throughput connection, but they do have the broadest possible coverage. And the connection that they do offer is actually quite a bit better than what most people are used to on 4G. So win for T-Mobile.
It's pretty clear that in terms of covering a lot of people and providing pretty fast speeds, T-Mobile is the one that is beginning to step ahead of the others. Verizon still has its millimeter wave 5G network in a couple of downtown cities, but no one's ever in those locations, and finding one of those signals is pretty difficult.
AT&T is less dedicated to 5G being a differentiator.
It can read?
Their corporate entity is really focused on their Warner Media product right now.
Oh, there's the 5G.
Okay, 5GE.
5GE is the little icon that AT&T decided to give to their LTE network. In one fell swoop, AT&T gave basically all their customers 5G without having to spend a dime.
When you say T-Mobile, Verizon, and AT&T in that order, it's also it just so happened that I guess they pour in equally amount of effort in media to promote them. It's like the frequency of seeing the quality of the ads indicates how great their service is.
It's funny, but that's kind of the way it is now. Yeah.
So going back to the Soviet joke, I feel like that guy who went to the dealer, and after 10 years later, I've forgotten about it. And when it's finally here, I say, great, I've got the 5G car, got onto the car and realized, well, the road is not that great. They're building the roads very slowly, and the gas stations are kind of few and far between. I can't really go on a long road trip because there aren't that many applications set up. There aren't that many services set up along the way. And as I was really excited about how fast everything is and I was ready to move on from home Wi-Fi, I realized they kind of keep a 50 gigabyte tab on your download. So I hit that right before the end of January, and I got a note from T-Mobile and says, well, we're gonna throttle the heck out of your phone. So everything slows down, so I went back to Wi-Fi. So for that matter, it's like you're driving a car that supposedly goes 150 miles an hour and 0 to 60 in 3 seconds. There's still a speed limit. And if you go over it, you get a ticket and you're going back to 25.
Why do you want 3G? Well, you want it for faster data downloads. It's a website with a lot of images on it, complex layout. 21 seconds on 3G,